Okay, greetings, salutations, good day, and hi. Welcome back to the vTuber Racing Project channel, and welcome to the 9th series of Formula Holo Racing. We are back after a few months with the hololive members as we get to celebrate 100 races in this vTuber Racing competition. That's right, 100 FH races. The 100th race will be scheduled at the end of the series, but for now we have the first 3 of 12 races we're about to begin here at the outer circuit in Bahrain, the Sakhir round, a fantasy round at the Colorado circuit, and another English round at Croft Circuit. My name is Dag the Pig, and I am once again your usual vTuber Racing commentator. We're using rFactor 1 once again, and we are going to go ahead and open up the game, why don't we? So, we were scheduled to begin yesterday, but a couple days beforehand, there was a Hall Fights stream announced. And then later on that afternoon, there was that Pomotori stream with Takanashi Kiara and Pomeranian Pup that I also didn't want to miss. So we had to postpone the start of this series for 24 hours, and so we're starting right now. Okay. First, we head to the site of the very first FH race over a year and a half ago. That's the Bahrain International Circuit, but with a twist. Instead of the default circuit, we're racing on the outer circuit, the Sakhir outer circuit, which was used once in the 2020 Formula 1 season. Slightly shorter layout, 2.2 miles. We're going to be racing under the lights in this round. 20 laps or 25 minutes, whichever transpires first. And let's say no more about about whatever and get loading. 3.543 kilometers, 11 turns, racing under the lights, and we have 56 drivers set to go. We are of course less one since the last series, since Tsukuma Sana, the 5th series champion, has since graduated from hololive. Anyway, let's have a look at this circuit with good old Pekara. Now the outer circuits. First, it's the long straightaway, and then a couple of turns, and another long section. Now, the outer circuit, instead of going on the inside, you have to take a bit of a shortcut. You have to go around these turns right then and there. And then another couple of long straight sections, and that's just basically it. A quick lap. Thus, we're going to be racing only 20 laps here. Yeah, I said it was quick. I didn't say it was easy. Alright, as per usual, grid of 40 drivers qualifying for each race. So we say nerds to 16 drivers. But will Pekara qualify? If so, where would she qualify? 16th for Pekara. Good start by her, and a whole lot of members won't qualify. For example, Watame, Kobayashi, Akiros, Polka, Noel, Okayu, Ame, Lamy. Ina, an interesting case. She's currently on hiatus, indefinite streaming hiatus. But for now, she's for the time being, she's in the roster for this series. we'll just see how it is as we go along with the series with her. For now, she's not even in this race. Blair, Noka, Kiara, Achima, Luna, Mel, and here is your starting grid, starting from the very top. At pole, we have good old Bay of the Holo Council at pole. She's going to get a bonus point. She gets the very first point of this series. Right beside her is Ayame. Ollie and Kanata make up row 2. Next is Irohamio and Risu. So we say Crony and Chloe. Aqua, Robico, and Louie. Who else? Matsuri, Laplace, and Pekora. Miko, Yofi, and Mume. Kailagura and Choco. Sarasvana, Momosuzunene, and Tokino Sora. The defending champion of FH, Achan, and then Karone and Toa. Iris, Muna, and Anya. Reina, Zeta, and Subaru. Bolton, Callie, and Marine. And finally, Koryo, Shion, and Fubuki. That's your grid for the first of 12 rounds. I put in my middle counts just in case. And we are set to go here. Locking the grid. And sun is starting to set here. Everyone on the grid and ready to go for 20 laps in this opening round. And first to make sure. And we are set to begin. Let's put on the music and get to racing. Alright, here we go from Bahrain. Waiting for all 5 lights to expire. And Formula Holo's 9th series is underway. Off they all proceed to the first turns. Being very careful right there, not to make early mistakes. Good start by Bay, followed by Ayame and Crazy Ollie. As they go onto the outer section, going around and around. Laps every minute. Oh, bit of a mistake by Iris. And looks like Fauna is a bit worse off. Look at her, distant 40th. Well, here comes Bay onto the last straightaway before the front stretch. Amy and Ollie are close behind, and it's going to look like Bay from pole having the lead, followed by Ayame and Ollie, of course. Kanata 4th and Mio 5th. This track has multiple camera angles. You love to see it. Looks like a car will have to stop at pit lane. That, of course, is Fauna. Oh, another council member also having to pit in the Nashimume. From the overhead view, We see IMA trying to chase after Bay. 0.206 separates the two. Looks like someone has lost her front wing. That's Koyori who lost her front wing. Certainly not Callie, as the car's still intact, and looks like it's Toa who also lost her front wing. No change to the top three. But as you know, is a lap down. A maximum of 30 drivers will score in each race, provided that you complete at least 90% race distance. You don't have to have the car running at the checkered flag at the end of the race session, but you've got to finish at least 90% race distance. Since this is a 20-lap race, completion of at least 18 laps is considered good enough here for you to score, provided that you finish in the top 30. 100 points for a race, 175 for second, and 60 for third. All the way down to 1 point for 30th place, and nada for every succeeding place after. Oh, careful, Laplace. And Ayame has to deal with a lapped car ahead of her, as Faye is wanting to peel away from the others. Suisse moves up to P4, Kanata remains 5, Matsuri 6, Mio 7, Chloe 8, Risu 9, Aroha 10. And Mume is finding herself well behind the others. Man, Koyori's 39th, that you hate to see. Going pit as we scan throughout this grid. We're through 4. And no change to the top 3. .201 separates Bay and Ojo. And 34 are within the lead lap. Mume is 2 behind. Still technically within classification, although not quite in the points. The lighting is starting to dim here. There's lights in the grandstands, I'm pretty sure. We finished off the 8th series under the lights at Qatar. We start off this series with 2 night races, actually. One here at Bahrain, and the next one will also be under the lights at the Colorado National Circuit, which I accidentally discovered to have working floodlights, so we're going to use the nighttime setting for the second round. And the rest of the way, we're going to be racing in the daytime settings. Anywho, Bay has been leading all throughout this race from pole, throughout this first quarter of this opening round. As you see some overtakes between these few drivers. Well, Bales' gap has gotten bigger. It's 3.399 ahead of Ojo. Still, so far, so good. Nothing particularly wrong with anyone. A nice, easy circuit to start off this series. But I've checked the testing for the next the next couple tracks, and those next two tracks at Colorado and Croft Circuit are far from easy, and there's certainly going to be a few more ridiculous courses that will cause many a wheel to pop out of these old-fashioned early 90s Formula 1 style open-wheel vehicles that these drivers are racing. The council member specializing in chaos is leading still in a race that is lacking in chaos, ironically enough. Still no change to the top 5. But Suisse making an overtake against IMA. So Suisse moves into P3 as we see more debris out there. Rena and Sora are heading to pits. Skyline is starting to become even darker now as Bay lets Laplace go ahead. We get back in the lead lap. Ollie up to P2. Kanata almost overtakes Suisse in the opening turn of this circuit. Anyway, wow, starter on the front row all the way down to 6th for Rojo. Remember the top 30 score, but you gotta finish at least 90% race distance. Bay's lead is now 4.664. Remember the side ticker is the intervals are unofficial, but they do show a rough guideline of how far each is separated from the next highest or next lowest. And it does a pretty good job in figuring out who's in what position. Well, Plus is back on the lead lap, but she's 31st among the 31 cars still within the lead lap. Everyone is still classified, though, as we're halfway through this opening round here at Bahrain, the Sakhir round. Bit of an issue right there between these gear drivers, and we have our first casualty of the race. Crony is gone. Not a good start for Council with a couple members out of the race, left behind, and Crony out. Only Bay is doing a good job keeping up high spirits for her team as we see a spare tire roll along. Careful, that's a big obstacle right there. So Meme and Fauna being lapped Crony crashes out, first driver to crash out of this race, but they leading the whole time. So I gotta cross out a name. I don't even know what Crony is. Wow, Crony started off 9th. And has to be crossed out without scoring. Meanwhile, let's see how others on the track are doing. Subaru retaining her gray car livery, as we see Choco got slammed into and lose her rear wing. And Robico, who was using her gray camouflage car in the 8 Series, is using her pink and purple camouflage car for this series. Bale's lead is now 5 seconds over second place Ollie. Suisse remains third. And we have 7 more laps to go through. Not much of a challenge for Bay. The only question is whether fuel would hold the rest of the way through in these remaining 7 laps, as the grid is reduced to 27 drivers within the lead lap as cars are in pit lane. Yup, the gap is even bigger now for Bay. 6.5 seconds. Kanata loses it! Oh my goodness, we gotta look at the replay. What just happened there? Almost overtook Suisse for third, but finds herself in a Spinala situation, and she drops down to 7th. Well, she's recovered a bit, back up to 6th, just overtook Mio. Sky even darker now, but still some floodlights enough for just to have barely enough visibility as we lose Kazuma Iroha. That's our second early race retirement. So Iroha's gone for no score. Man, another car starting off in the top 10 that ended up crashing out. So Iroha's day is done after 13 completed laps. While Bales continues to lead with 4.5 to go. He's just behind Suisse and Nakiri Ayame. Battle for third between these two. But Suisse remains ahead for the time being. As we come down to 4 laps. And here comes Ayame On the move goes up to P3. Back in the top 3 once again for Rojo. And Bay has reached lap traffic, I'm sorry to report. Let's just hope it isn't an issue for her as she tries to survive these remaining 3.5 laps. Very careful now. Look who's quickly approaching Bay. It's Ollie. So Bell's lead is cut to a little under 4 seconds now. So 3 to go. Whoa! Careful! Careful, Bay. Oh, running into danger already. There seems to be a bit of a clearing ahead of her. But that was very close by Bay. Almost got shot down by Toa and Anya. And also, she has to worry about Ollie. Two to go. At Sakhir. Ollie is now 3.3 seconds behind Bay. As they go around these obstacles. Now there's a clearing. Over 280 kilometers per hour. A bit hard to translate into miles per hour. But whatever. 1 to go. Bay been leading the whole time. 1 away from a wire-to-wire finish. From a perfect race result, leading all throughout this race from pole. 3.985, slightly better now for Bay. Bay looking for a very strong start in honor of her team's former council member Sycamore Sana. Great way to open up the series for the team with a win. Bay has one race win to her name. That's at Mugello in, I believe, the 4th series. And here she is onto the front stretch. Open up the series with a victory. Pecos Bales wins at Bahrain's Outer Circuit for 101 points. Very perfect opening statement for the council member when her teammates weren't doing so hot. It's Bay's second Formula Holo race win. Ollie finishes second, and Ayame will get third. Suisse and Matsuri round out the top 5. So there's the wire-to-wire finish for Bay. A near flawless race here at the Sakhir Bahrain Outer Circuit. top 3. Bay, Ojo, and... No, Bay, Ollie, and Ojo. As we stop the music, because this race is over. 38 drivers did finish classified with 2 accidents. So let's go mark down the points. Congrats, Bay. Ollie 2nd and Naomi 3rd. And Suisse 4th. And then it's Matsuri and Kanta. Mio and Chloe. Risu and Kayla. Pekka and Nene. Inogami Kone and Gagura. Louie and Subaru. Muna and Callie. Where was I? Marine and Botan. Iris and Fubuki. Zeta and Laplace. Anya and Fauna. Yofi and Miko. Koryori and Roboco. These are your 30 race scorers. A-chan, not a good start for the defending champion. Just missing out on the points in 31st. Shion finishes 1 spot behind. Aqua and Reine. Toa and Mume. Choco and Sora. And finally, Iroha and Crony. And here come the points. Remember, the points table is in the description. It's the Google Sheets thingamabob. We're gonna add in the points in to make sure it's all good. And it does look good to me. That's all 40 drivers, and we're going to add a bonus point for Bay, because she won from pole. I was going to have the pole sitter get 5 points for the series, but we're just going to stick to the 1 bonus point for the pole sitter. Because I'm too lazy to change my spreadsheet that much. Anyway, no surprise here. The council has the points lead in the Constructors' Championship with 116, and second is ID Gen 2, the Holoro team, the Keiichi Kensetsu team with 81 points, and Gen 2, the Akukin Kensetsu team, just 1 point behind at 80. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on here. Another race under the lights. We're going to a fantasy circuit, the first of like 2 fantasy circuits. Yeah, 2. And that's going to be at Colorado, I guess. I'm going to use the 2013 layout. And we're going to race 11 laps. This is a 6-kilometer circuit, according to the description for this fantasy circuit. It's made for sim racing, endurance racing, and the 24 hours layout, so of course it would have floodlights. And so we're going to have to race under the lights again. Anyway. Anyway, let's just load. Colorado. Glenwood Springs, Colorado. 3.128 mile. 6 kilometers. And the number of turns is unspecified, as far as I can tell, but we'll just call it a shitload of turns that these cars have got to go through. Yeah, look at the circuit. This is going to be quite a challenge, the first big challenge for the hololive members. As we wait for qualifying to begin and see how it is on the track, if qualifying can even proceed, as we say hello to Meme. As she leads us through the circuit. Now the opening turn is where I expect to see like a quarter of the starting grid crash out, and expect to see less than half of the field finish the race, and like 2/3 of that amount scoring points at the end. That's how I expected it would be from seeing test races at this circuit. And then we have ourselves a quarter turn, a quarter circle turn, and then more lefts and rights. There's some elevation changes that these drivers have got to worry about. Curve to the right, and then curve to the left. These large S's right there. And then right and left. Mind the elevation changes. This track, of course, made for endurance racing or Grand Touring racing. So, of course, it's going to be quite a silly track for open wheel racing. But we'll see how it is here with these hololive drivers. That's a lap at Colorado. Let's do qualifies. Certainly not Mume. And Ina continues her hololive hiatus by not even bothering to qualify for this race. You hate to see it. Okayu, Zeta, Azuki, Toa, Meme, Botan, Ali, Shion, Iris, Achan failed to qualify, so that's 2 races without scoring for the defending champion. Wow, at least 2 Munaka Teta members didn't even make the cut for this race. Polka, Pekara, Nodoka. So that's both staff members not racing. And at pole we have from Gen 4 Watame. Up beside is Kaela. And then third is Ayame. Fourth is Louis. Fifth is Matsuri. And sixth is Kobo. And then we have Flare Muna and Aki Rose. Robico, Nina, and Gura. Marine, Mio, Chloe. Laplace, Ame and Kanata. Fauna, Koyori, and Crony. Iroha, Suise, and Nanya. Shuba, Hachima, and Rene. Mel, Noel, Kiara. Callie, Sora, and Aqua. Bay, Luna, and Miko. And finally, Korone, Fubuki, Lamy, and Choco. So we're racing 11 laps under the lights. Everyone is set to go. Let's get out to the track and begin round 2. Here we go. Watame at pole for this race. And race is started here at Colorado. Here comes the shit show, the first turn. And yes, it's a mess. There's the Onyo moment we've come to expect in the opening turn. Open wheel racing at its finest. Marino plus Kiara and multiple others. Nakiriami at front. We've lost Marino plus Kiara, Noel, Muna, Miko, Roboco, and we expect a few others to completely lose it on this opening lap. Like, for example, Ame. No, she has all 4 wheels. She's fine. Now, Lammy, on the other hand, Callie, and now Ame, all hiccup out of the race early on. Nakiri Ayame, very good start for Ojo. Very good start to the series. 3rd place at Bahrain, looking for another race win to her name for her Gen 2 teammates. But look who's just behind Takani Louie, who's looking for, I believe, her first podium. At least I think would be her first podium. So very good starts for these drivers. As you can see here, Ayame Louie and Kobo Yotaku Watame 4th, Flare 5, as they make it through the turn A-OK. Yes, Takane Louie has yet to make the podium. How many cars did not survive this onslaught? Twelve cars are out. I'm not gonna even bother looking through the through my notepad to cross out names, to look for names and cross them out, because I gotta keep an eye out for anything happening here. Here come the last few cars to finish. Crony naturally having to pit, and a whole mess of cars having to stop at pit alongside Crony. And Bay is without a rear wing, but she's in 18th. Crony has no rear wing either. Ayame likes the larger circuits. Likes racing on the endurance circuits apparently, and a pretty good start for her. Here comes Ojo to complete 2 of 11. 9 to go. Around these tight turns. Let's have a look just after Ayame. Want to make just behind Kobo. As the stars shine in the night sky, and the floodlights are way past out. Ayame's lead is 2.182 over Takane Louie. Remember, the Holo X team, the Yamada Motorsport team, won the Constructors' Championship in the previous series. So it's H-Town who won the Drivers' Championship, and Holo X, the JP Gen 6 team, that won the Constructors' Championship. Anyway, more nondescript turns. Bit of a slippy slide by Louie, but she's a bit closer to Ayame than the previous. Still, here comes Aqua serving as an obstacle for these drivers. Certainly has affected Ayame. Louie has gotten a bit closer now to Ojo. Be very careful now, Louie. Looking out to see if there are any more drivers that are hurt. I'm completely unsure at this point. We're just seeing what happens here. There's still lots of racing left as Louie is once again right at Ayame's tail. Keep an eye on these two. High speed plus multiple turns equals ouch. So gotta plan yourselves and try not to be too risky early on. And I'm afraid there are multiple cars 2 laps behind outside of classification. Only 16 are in classification right now and eligible for points. We're through 4. Ayame, Louie, and Kobo. Louie's a little under half a second behind Ayame. Kobo Kaneru of the Holo Hero team. ID Gen 3 a distant third. Right now it's the battle between these two drivers, Nakira Ayame and Takane Louie. Everyone seems to have spread out. I don't see much wrong with it. anyone as we scan through the grid. Going in descending order now. And back again. Careful, Chucko. There's a nice line of cars. But still single file racing as far as I'm concerned. As IMA once again increases her lead. Now it's back to 1.87. 1.87 now. Still just the 16 cars eligible for points of the 28 still in it. So of course Bay would have the first previous race winner's curse of this series. Win one race and fail to score in the next. That's how it is because everyone sure loves parody. And parody we got, as they're all driving the same makeup car. It's all different by decorations, colors, and stuff. So FH is actually a spec series. This is actually a spec series, is what we like to call it. That differs from the real life Formula 1, in which the cars have different builds in some way. So we're less than half of this race left. We're through 5 to go. As Nakiri Ayame continues to lead. Had a very good jump. Able to avoid disaster in the opening turn of the race, and she hasn't looked back since. Three, 4, 5, Kobu, Watame, and Anya. Anywho, we have one more race after this for today, which will be at the Croft Circuits, which I might expect to be even crazier than this circuit. This, despite its much less intimidating appearance than this circuit. Three seconds separates Ojo and Louis. And I don't see a 28th car. Oh my, Hachima is 4 laps down now. Not good for her. 4 laps down in just an 11-lap race. Are you kidding me? Ojo, still leading. 4 to go. So everything seems to have stabilized since losing 12 cars in the opening lap. Yeah, all accidents were on the opening lap, and there have been none since. No early race retirements since then. And there's some slippy slidies with some of these cars, but no problem there for those cars quickly righting themselves. And Louie makes a mistake. Oh man, she's starting to slip and slide as these tires start to wear out. Man, Louie has been desperate to get on the podium for the first time, and late in the race, she just can't let it slip away from her like that. And well, Miami has decided to pit. So Kobo Kanaeru moves up to the top spots. Anya second and Watame third. So much for a podium for Louie. I've seen pit stop shuffles in Nijisanji stock car racing, and don't tell me we have pit stop shuffles in hololive Formula racing. What a way to screw up the grid and prevent monotony from occurring. Louie down a lap all the way to 14th. And I'm also down a lap, so just 12 drivers within the lead lap. 17 now eligible to score. Will Kobo pit? Yes, she will. And so Anya, and yeah, I suppose the drivers that did not pit on the previous lap will go in this lap. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, let's just see who will come out and have the lead. I certainly can't tell. Currently, the lead is marked to Shiranui Flair. And a bit of a risky exit as Bay almost bumped into Flair. Flair, Chloe, and God knows who stirred. Bit of a mistake by Chloe. Bit of a mistake by Chloe. Bit of a mistake by Flair. Flair. And another whoopsie doodle. Subaru is the first casualty since the opening lap. as now 26 drivers are eligible to score points, and at least 50, and about 15 drivers are winning points. Much better now. Nakiriyami is back in the lead, and Louis is a distant second behind. Ami leads by 10 seconds over Louis. Watsume around 30 seconds behind Ojo. And Minato Aqua continues to be a lapped car. Nakiriyami doesn't stream much, but boy, she's pretty good at racing anyway. One race win for Ojo. That was at Rattlesnake Point in some long ago series. And she's a little over one away from a second win on long circuits. Here comes Ojo. One to go. Nakiriyami's lead is 7 seconds, still significant. As she approaches the turns that are a bit slippery for some of the drivers. The turns she's approaching are the tricky ones. Very good. Able to traverse these turns with little to no issue. Cobble's third, Anya fourth, Fauna fifth. And there's the smooth sailing curves. Still no problem for Ojo. On to the S's. And provided she survives these last few obstacles, she's got the win in the bag. Here comes Nakiriyami. Last couple turns for Nakiriyami, approaching the start-finish. On to the last turns. Nakiriyami is victorious here at Colorado for her second FH victory. And look who's coming home to second. Her very first FH podium. Holo X's Takani Louie finishes runner-up. And this, I believe, is going to be third place. Another podium for Holo Heroes Kobukana Eru. Yes, it is. Your top three, Nakiriyami, Takani Louie, and Kobukana Eru. Nakiriyami wins by 11 seconds here at the Colorado 24 layout as she does some spin outs. And momentum will be arrested here as she runs out of fuel. 22:19 is the winning time, and as cars start to run out of fuel. And only a maximum of 15 cars will score. Certainly 12 at least. Waiting for Watame, Nena, and Sora. Should they finish the lap, then they are good. Nenichi is good. Waiting for Watame and Sora to finish. Looking, Sora is good. Watame. Race not over. We're just waiting for Watame to finish, and then we can mark down the points. This is a long lap, ladies and gentlemen. Please be patient. Just needs to go through these last few obstacles. And she's going to get in the points. And that is points for Tsunamaki Watame. Only 15 drivers will score. Wow, 25-16. That's quite a finishing time for her, but anything to do to get classified. Anywho, Nikiriyame, your winner here at Colorado, the Fantasy Circuits. Consecutive podiums. I'm pretty sure she's gonna be on top of the Drivers' Championship points 1/6 of the way through this series, as we mark down the points. So Ayami, Louis, Koba, Anya, and Fauna are your top 5, and then Chloe finishes 6th. And then Matsuri and Kanata, Fleur and Koyori, Luna and Reine. And then Nenasor and Watame, those are your point scores here. And no points for the following drivers. So, Gura, no classification. Aqua, no classification. Mio and Akiros, no classification for either. Choco and Suisei, Johan Crony, Kayla and Bay. Previous race winners curse right there for Bay, finishing 25th, 2 laps behind for a no score. And Grone and Hachima. And then these are your drivers who crashed out. Let's list them: Subaru and Ame, and Kali, Lamy and Fubuki, Obako and Mel, Miko and Muna, Noah and Kiara, and finally LaPlus and Marine. So let's bring the points. Let's bring the points. Gotta make sure it's 16 drivers. And that certainly doesn't look right. Well, the number of drivers that scored looks right. but I may have typed down the name wrong. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. We have a. Let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No classification. And I only see 11, so Hachima. There's the missing name, Korane. No classification. So it all looks good. Bonus point for Watame, from 22 to 23, and then we are gonna go off to Croft Circuits. No surprise who's leading the championship. It's Nakiriyame with 160 points. 59 ahead of Bay with 101 points. Takane Louis is third with 97 points, 63 behind IMA, and a whole mess of cars who have yet to score, but there's still 10 races in this series for these hololive members to participate in the Constructors' Championship. It's the defending Constructors' Champions, Gen 6, currently on top with 207 points to JP Gen 2's 180. And third should be, yes, EN Gen 2 with 161. Just 2 ahead of ID Gen 2's 159. Okay, so enough blabbering. We have one more race to sit through. That's at Croft Circuit. Let's go to Croft in North Yorkshire. Okie dokie. Croft Circuits. Home of the British. One home for the British Touring Car Championship, British Rallycross, and Pickup Truck Racing race series. Also used for British F4. Does have some Formula racing experience here. FIA Grade 3, but what does it matter FIA grading for Formula Holo racing circuits as long as they drive well and as long as they're not ovals. Anyway, where is it? There you are. We're gonna race 19 laps. 2.127 miles. That's the main circuit distance. 3.423 kilometers. 16 turns, and the rest of the way we're gonna have race starts at 12 p.m. Croft Circuit in North Yorkshire, somewhere in England. And before I forget, I need to put in the top 3. That's IMA, Louis, and Kobo. IMA, Louis, and Kobo, yeah. And also update the medal counts list. So Bay, Ollie, where are you? And IMA. There's Nakiri IMA, right here. And IMA Louis and Kobo. And we are set to go here. Let's go to Croft. Welcome to Croft Circuit, where cars pop out of a singular point, and we get set for qualifying here with these 56 drivers and Iago, who's just present to keep an eye out on these drivers. Vroom indeed, yeah. Vroom indeed. Welcome, welcome. Here come the qualifying session. Who will come out to take us on a ride here? Why, it's Calliope Mori of Holomyth. Gah! So this roughly boomerang-shaped circuit goes clockwise and goes around and around. And go into the tip of the boomerang. This is a surprisingly challenging circuit in testing. There's a worse amount of drivers that ended up in scoring position than at Colorado. And that's not all for the ridiculous accident-heavy circuits for this series. Spoiler alert. In a Pragusa, round number 6. Which is coming on Saturday. Well, that's a lap went by relatively quickly now, and let's go ahead and see who does qualify for this race and who is too nervous to face having lost wheels here. Well, Callie, not even close to qualifying, and once again, Ina continues her hiatus. Not even qualifying for this race. Rene, Toa, Roboco, Ina, Gronifana, Flair, Koyori, once again not in. Muna, Luna, Zeta. And Akira Ame fails to qualify for Croft. Second consecutive race with the previous race winner's curse in play. And who is at pole? It's Friend. The good friend of Miofatori, the hololive Gamers team. Shirakami Fubuki. We'll start off pole. We'll get a bonus point. Mel and Noel are next. And then it's Kobu. Kobu. No. Kobo, Roha, and Achan. Ira, Sakura, and Matsuri. Asuki, Nodoka, and Risu. Miko, Korone, and Bay. Akiro, Slimy, and Botan. Louis, Subaru, and Chloe. Guranene and Mio. Ami, Kanata, and Watame. Laplace, Sora, and Hachima. Yofi Marine and Kaela. Ollie, Kiara, and Shion. And finally, Choco, Poco, Suisse, and Mume. So, 19 laps at Croft Circuit. So let's go for this third round. Last round for today. And thanks for joining us if you just showed up. We're through 2, and this is round 3 of 12 for this 9th series. Opening up the music, and we are set to go here. Boop, 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 boop. 4 red lights, and the green lights are up, and we are racing round 3 here at Croft Circuit at North Yorkshire. And already a mess, which includes a pole sitter. So that's that for Fubuki, I'm afraid. That's that for the pole sitter. Easy come, easy go. Kiara also out. Momimio and Sora also having awful starts. So you just hate to see this. Yozo Amel taking the lead as they approach whatever this turn is. Iris second and Kazuma Aroha third. Aroha, quite an experienced driver for the very strong Holo Council team. Waiting for her first FH win. I don't know. But here comes Meru-chan. As she Gopu-Kopu's her way to a lap lead. And cars slip and slide. That is just nuts. More cars making mistakes here. Unsurprisingly. Akaros forgot where she's going. Amelia Watson is done, I'm sorry to report. And I can't see, and I've skipped Ami. I don't even know what happened there, except that she lost a wheel, and so her race is done in failure. Sakura Miko is second, and Minato Aqua is P3 now. After a couple of whoopsie doodles by Iris and Kazuma Aroha. Wow, we're through 2 already. As here comes these absolute BS turns again. Yep. That's what you come to expect here. Cars losing their front wings. Worst case scenario, a wheel or 3. Shiona's left Carmel is leading. Aqua is just behind Miko. Yozo Amel. Past this very tight hairpin turn onto the start finish. Through 3 already. Lead is 3.56 something for Mel, and don't even get me started on the number of DNFs here. We're down to 30 cars very early on. And we're through 3.5 now. Aqua goes up to P2 at the expense of Mikochi. Yuki Hanalami is 4th. And Aroha's back in 5th. H-Chan just exiting the pit lane. Yozo Mel of the Red Heart Racing Gen 1 team. Pretty decent starts for her. No problem here. Aqua! Fucks up. Miko, likewise. They're both gone. Lammy goes up to P2. Risu, P3. Now, Lammy, Gen 5, they haven't had any race wins in quite a while. She's the only one of her team to have a race wins in FH. Risu is P3. She is looking for a 6th FH race win. That's right. Ayuda Risu is among 2 drivers with 5 wins, along with Shirogane Noel. Risu wants to be the first to reach 6 FH wins, as Mel almost contemplated entering pit lane, but chooses to stay out. And does fine here. Lammy's okay, Risu is okay. Natsuyo Matsuri is fine. Chloe isn't quite fine, but she quickly recovers. Luckily, there's no cars to slam into her. Goes down to 6th. Haosaki Nodoka of the staff up to P5 as Mel continues to lead. Her lead is 8 seconds, 8.25, as even more cars join the DNF club. Takane Glori is 1 lap behind. Murasaki Shion 2 behind, not good for classification, as this is a 19-lap race, so you can only be a maximum of 1 lap behind for classification. It's a 19-lap race, not 20, so it's just a maximum of 1 lap behind to be all good. As Iopi spins again, but she's a lap car anyway. Mel continues to lead. Lammy! Magically apparates through these tire barriers and continues to have all 4 wheels in hand. Risu! Excuse me. P2 now. Matsuri overtakes Lammy for P3. And Nodoka not too far behind these 2. Look at this. Here comes Mel. Gotta watch out for the lap car of Shuba. Seven down. Onto these ridiculous turns again. Just misses out on danger, thankfully. Oh man, what a mess right there. A close shave by Mel, just able to evade Subaru and maintain her lead here. What a maneuver by the Gen 1 member, Yozo Mel, looking for her 2nd FH victory. "23 cars currently eligible for points, and 25 along to 25 still in it, and 18 remain in the lead lap." Mel still leads. Mel started off in the front row alongside Fubuki, but unlike Fubuki, Mel's still racing. Mel, Risu, Matsuri, still your top 3. 2 of the 3 drivers in the top 3 are from Gen 1. Risu dealing with some obstacles. Cars in the way, Azuki and Louie. Risu able to pass Azuki. Matsuri likewise. Around the tight hairpin turn goes Mel. Difficult turn again. Mel's good. Waiting for Risu. And Matsuri. And they're both A-OK. We're at the halfway point of this race now. More cars in pit lane dealing with issues here. Well, Ollie's, dead. Very good clearance by Mel. How will Risu and Matsuri handle this turn? Well, they cleared up Ollie's stranded car, so of course they both made it through cleanly. Over 10.5 laps done. Mel been leading since the opening lap, since the opening turn mess. Started with no thanks to Fubuki. To go. And more cars hurt. Oh, gotta watch out. But she uses her brakes, no problem. So that's fine. Risu. Careful, careful, careful. Okay. Matsuri, what are you doing? You just cost yourself a front and went that way. Oh man, Mel is sandwiched between Noel and Nenichi. With a few more cars in the way to cause issues for her. Especially heading towards the ridiculous turn. Mel does find a clearance. Subaru loses it. Yozo Mel. Here she comes approaching the turn and messes up. Messes up on the turn. And look who's new leader. Look who's the new leader here. Ayunda Risu. With less than 7 to go now, inheriting the lead from Yozora Mel. Sakamoto Chloe is now third. We may have lost someone. We may have lost Natsuya Matsuri. She's in pit lane. Ayunda Risu has taken the lead. Sakamoto Chloe is now third. Yuzuki Chuko, a distant fourth. And Tsunomaki Watsume is fifth. As several cars are added to the casualties list for this round. It's okay, Ollie's a zombie. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right. She is. She can try again in the next round. Ayunda Risu, the most successful driver in the Moon Architect ID Gen 1 team. 5 wins, yet haven't won a driver's championship. Trying to survive these last 6 laps. Watching out for some of these cars in the way. Her teammate Yofi and Takani Louie just ahead of her. Front stretch again. Let's see how it is here. This might be a big turn. And Risu's good. Risu is good. Mel is good. Chloe barely survives this difficult turn. But Choco's just behind. Choco's looking for a second ever podium finish in 9 series. Of course, her first ever podium finish was on a stream in which the commentary, the microphone, ended up fucked up for me. Meanwhile, Ayunda Risu being pursued by Mel. Lead 2 seconds. Risu good here. Mel very good here. Sakuma Chloe a distant third. Very good. Same for Choco, and Marine is a distant 5th. Ayunda Risu knows this race still isn't over. Knows Mel is close behind. 1.47 seconds. And slowly creeping down. And Akiro's cuts off Mel. Risu still good. Risu, Mel, Chloe, Choco, Marine, top 5 here with less than 3 to go. Make that 2.5 if you're feeling nitpicky. Noelle and Akiro's trying to cut off Risu. Now it's just Akiro's that's ahead of Mel before Risu. Gotta watch out for the 25-minute time limits. Risu's still good. But Mel is 1 second behind now. Whoa, Smokey! Akiro's makes a mistake. But luckily it didn't affect much. And here comes Mel catching up to Risu. No one ahead of her except for the race leader. Looking for a 6th win. Mel looking for a 2nd win. Gonna be a close battle between these two in the final lap, coming up in just a few turns. And the chase is on! Lap 19. Lap 19 of 19. Risu with the upper hand. Both made it through. Both made it through that turn okay. And they bumps slightly into Chloe, but they're both okay. Risu just ahead of Mel. Went for a close finish. A very close finish with not many drivers left in this race. Either Risu or Mel will win it. On to these last few turns. Mel trying to look for an opportunity to overtake, but Risu starts to peel away. On to the last couple turns for Ayunda Risu and a 6th FH win at stake. Ayunda Risu onto the hairpin turn. Ayunda Risu has done it. She is the first FH driver to 6 wins. She wins at Croft. Mel finishes 1 second behind. Chloe is 3rd. Ayunda Risu has a 6th Formula Holo race win. A Super 6 for the ID Gen 1 member. Oh, what a result for Ayunda Risu. She now has the most wins among all hololive members in this series. 6 wins, 6 race victories. And look at that, we expect fewer drivers to score than at Colorado, and it does show. Only 11 drivers will score. Ayunda Risu is victorious at Croft in a race that saw a little over a quarter of the starting field get on the board. Race time 20 minutes 34 seconds. What a result for the adorable squirrel of ID Gen 1. Risu, Mel, and Chloe at top 3. And what an exciting finish that was here. Ayunda Risu, the big 6. Mel, another podium for her. And Sakamoto Chloe, likewise. So everything is good right here. Excuse me. Acha on a top 5 finish as defending champion. Only 11 drivers will score points, and just 10 drivers finishing all 19 laps. No points for Nene, no points for Noel. No points for Rocky Rose. And then DNFs for Louis Suisse, Matsuri Nodoka. Lamy Subaru Plus accident. Husky DNF. Ollie and Shion accident. Yoha DNF. Aqua and Miko accident. Botan Corne and Iris DNF. Ame accident. Kyla, Gura, Polka, and Kobo DNF. And finally, Sora, Miyomume, Kiara, and Fubuki accident. We're going to look at the points and wrap up for today. And we'll see who leads the Drivers' Championship after the first quarter of the races, and which team leads the Constructors' Championship. $16 DNQs does look good. Bonus point for Fubuki despite the accident. We'll put in the notes. And on top of the Drivers' Championship is Nakiri Ayame with 160. Second, Sakamata Chloe with 136, and Bay with 135. Chloe up to second now after her third place finish. Ayunda Risu goes into the top 5, 134, and Kanata 106, and 40 of the 56 drivers have at least 1 point to her name. And for the Constructors' Championship, and surprise, surprise, Ian. It's JP Gen 6 with 267 points, continuing to lead here because they have 5 members when most of the other teams just have 4. Second, yada yada yada, it's Gen 2, JP Gen 2 230, and third is Gen 4 197. JP Gen 4 197. And horrible start for EN Gen 1. Only 40 points after 3 races. Mainly because Ina is sadly on an indefinite streaming hiatus. You just hate to see it. I miss Ina. Well, I do have a plushie of her. Anyway, so I don't know. That's enough talking about plushies. We just want to talk about Ayunda Risu's spectacular performance at Croft for her 6th FH race win. Congratulations to the ID Gen 1 member right here, Ayunda Risu. Now currently in the top 5 in the points. Nakayame is still on top of the Drivers' Championship. So that's it for the first stream of this 9th series. We will continue to go to the Driving Sky with rounds 4 through 6 on Saturday at our usual start time of 11 a.m. Eastern. We're going to another fantasy circuit. A street race unlike no other. At the twists and turns, the roller coaster of the urban playground for round 4. 5th, we take a trip back to the past at Rouen Les Essarts in the countryside of France for round 5, and round 6 will take place at Ennapregusa in Italy for a race around the lake. Those are your next 3 rounds in this Formula Holo 9 series as we approach 100 FH races since the very start of this VTuber racing project. So, fellas, thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you again on Saturday, Saturday the 29th, for more Formula Holo Series 9 action. So congratulations once again to Risu, 6 FH race wins, and have a great rest of your Sunday, and have a great week ahead. And thanks for so much for watching today. What's your dad?